Thank you all. Up next will be Rachel Miller, City Councilor, and also a Reclaim member. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone. Good morning. So I'm Rachel Miller. I represent Providence Ward 13 on City Council. So that's Federal Hill, the West End, and now part of Valley. And that neighborhood has really been, in a lot of ways, the ground zero for increasing affordability crisis throughout the city, really for the last decade and a half, but especially we saw during COVID, right? The affordability and the availability crises meeting throughout my neighborhood. I saw and continue to see and hear from constituents who are living in an apartment that just a few years ago was at $1,300, $1,400 a month, is now being rented for $1,900, $2,000 a month, without a lot of improvements to the housing stock, right? Entirely a product of what folks believe they can do in terms of rent. And that is a policy happening around the city, and it's making our neighborhoods increasingly unaffordable for the people who live here. So I've been working with community organizations like Direct Action for Rights and Equality and the Center for Justice to figure out, like, okay, so what are the policy solutions that we can think about, and how can we collaborate with other people who represent folks who are getting priced out of our own neighborhoods? I'm a renter myself, right? How can we think about citywide policy solutions? And rent stabilization is one of those. But I'm here today, right, because one ordinance is not gonna do this. City council alone cannot solve our housing crisis, right? I believe that what we need, what is really most at stake in this mayor's race is, are we gonna elect someone who can have the kind of clear-eyed policy that is moving Providence forward? And we're gonna hear more about that for housing today. Someone who will also work with all levels of government, levels of the community, to actually, as we heard Miguel saying about Reclaim, right, can actually move us forward together. That these problems, the housing crisis, way too big for anyone to go it alone, right? And third, this kind of deep experience that I know Gonzalo to have, both in, and this I think is remarkable, in like every level of city and state government, but also community experience, being in and among the neighborhoods in our city. So that's why I'm here today.